George was born with 6 heart conditions, so he is rather complex, and not all of them were picked up actually before he was born. Some of them were picked up after he was born. The main one is he has hypoplastic right heart, so he's missing his right ventricle. We went for our 20-week scan like everyone else, and I was really just looking forward to having photos, really. And then we found out that actually there was something wrong with George's heart. But our local hospital couldn't quite identify what it was. So we were referred to King's College Hospital, where we went, must have been a few days later.
Yeah, just a couple of days, wasn't it?
And then that's when we found out the extent of George's heart conditions. I'd never heard of children having heart conditions. It sounds a bit silly, but it's not something you really hear about.
No.
Especially back then. I mean, now we're in that community. We know there's hundreds of heart conditions out there, and like it was 1 in 100 children are born with a heart condition.
Had his first surgery at 6 days old, and then 10 weeks old, wasn't it? I think his second one. And when was his third?
When he was 4.
When he was 4.
But yeah, I mean, kind of despite all of that, George does look like a normal child. If you wouldn't see his scar, if you were to see him with a whole group of other children, he looks completely normal.
Yeah.
He obviously does have limitations. He can't particularly run very fast. He can kind of do short bursts. Or far, yeah. So he can kind of do short bursts. He does get tired easily, so he does need lots of snacks. And water. I think cardiac children do get dehydrated quite quickly.
Like that, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he is amazing with everything that he's got
been
going
resilient
for him.
with it, yeah. All his surgeries and that, he's bounced back, and recovery's been really great.
I'm Alfie. I'm 15 years old. I'm the sibling to George, who has a heart condition.
My name is George. I'm 9 and I have a heart condition, and I'm the only heart condition boy in my family. I really like sport, and I like skateboarding as well.
My hobbies are football. I like basketball as well. I like spending time with George.
There's a lot of unknown, I think, with George. He can become unwell incredibly quickly. So he could be fine that morning, and then in the afternoon we're rushing to hospital. And then there are days that are much, much harder. And everything, just sometimes we just have to drop everything and then deal with deal with George. Yeah. And that is quite hard with having other children as well. So I did have to give up. I did give up work. So you're now just the only one working.
And then with mine as well, depending on how critical it is with George, I've got to make a decision, because being self-employed, I haven't got sick pay or holiday pay or anything like that, so I've got to make a decision, because obviously bills still need to get paid. Like, is George in a critical situation where I've got to be bedside with him? If that's the case, then I'm off work. If he's going in, he's okay, and he may be in for 2 or 3 days while I do a bit of investigation, then sometimes I've been back to work, but it's hard for me then to be at work doing it and not be by his bedside.
Alfie was 6 when we had George, so he was still quite young, but then older.
I think Alfie's been great with it. He's not had a normal, sort of from the age of 6, 7, he's not had a normal day-to-day life.
Echo have youth workers, which I get along very well with. It's nice to talk to them and meet other groups of people that are in a similar situation to me, and you can relate to them, which is very comforting.
One of the reasons why we raise money for Echo is that we've had first-hand seen what Echo can do for a family with a cardiac child. They support us from day one.
I think we always say Echo is our extended family.
They're our second family. They are.
The fundraising I did was a a virtual bike riding cycle during COVID on Facebook to raise money for Echo, because I think it's good to get awareness and give back to the community that helped my brother and me.
And the thing we've sort of found as he's got older, being honest as much as possible. You are going to hospital, you are going to have a surgery, there will be blood tests, there will be this, there will be that. And I found that if you're honest with him, he's much more better in the environment. And I would tell the surgeons or doctors or consultants, whoever's dealing with it, when they come and see George, be honest with him.
For other parents going through what we've kind of been through is to realise that you're not alone. And and another thing as well I'd really like to say is that it's okay to crumble at times, and I think that's the thing that I really struggled with to begin with, because I wanted to stay strong, and I was like, no, we can do this, we can fight, and we can do this. And actually I needed to crumble, and I needed to cry, and I needed to think, actually no, sometimes it does, it sucks, and it's not fun, and it's really hard and challenging, but it's not forever. It does get easier. Because he has all of these conditions, it doesn't kind of define him. He still has so much potential to do so much. And kind of making sure that he does understand that he has so much potential to be, and he can be whoever he wants to be. Yeah. Whatever he wants to become, and that's achievable, really.
So, I have a heart condition. It kind of annoys me because I can't play tackling sport because I might get an elbow in my chest, and that might affect my breathing. And that I can't play any rugby because that's got loads of pushing and shoving, and I might get really hurt in that. And I like it because at Legoland and Disneyland I get a free pass on the rides.